Good day everyone, our group will discuss to you the chapter 8, which is the gender interest and needs. The topics that includes in this chapter are gender interest and needs in development, gender interest, gender needs, and it has two types, the practical needs and strategic needs. Lastly, challenges for the fulfillment of gender needs in the Philippines.
Gender interest and needs in development is all about the empowerment of women, especially the poor and the marginalized, is crucial to sustainable woman development. Care-oriented or socialized feminine values must also be patrioticized. With this chapter, we will discuss to determine a woman's gender interest versus needs in the context of her culture and religion's identity is critical. Moreover, gender is an important consideration in development. It is a way of looking at how social norms and power structures impact on the lives and opportunities available to different groups of men and women. Globally, more women than men live in poverty. In Gender Interest in Needs in Development, Caroline Moser, an academic specializing in social policy and urban social anthropology, in her landmark book entitled Gender Planning and Development, highlighted three categories, which is the theory, practice, and training. In this book, she discussed feminist theories in relation to trends in gender and development and planning, enabled to develop planners to quickly identify programs that can benefit low-income women in developing countries. These needs are concerned with gender role, empowerment, and women access to resource and decision-making both in the public and private spheres.
Hello everyone, I'm Christy Hilaria and I'm going to discuss the gender interest. Gender interests are assumed by many to be the same for all those belonging to the same sex. Gender interests are considered prioritized. Gender concerns were gender needs quoted as means by which their concerns may be satisfied. Furthermore, gender interests are differentiated into practical or strategic, depending on how these gender interests are addressed. According to a feminist named Maxine Mulleneux, quoted for her ideas on gender interests and different social movements, defines gender interests as interests that are developed by men or women by virtue of their social positioning through gender attributes. Maxine Mulleneux also suggests the use of the phrase gender interest over women's interest because the latter has the tendency to focus on the generic notion of women based on their biological similarities. Planners translate gender interest into identifiable and concrete gender needs.
Everyone, we are from BSHM 2B, student of Aisho Calibo. So I'm going to discuss about the practical gender needs. Gender needs has two types, which is practical and the strategic. Practical gender needs, in terms of planning, are not necessary. Feminist in content, it is concerned with women's immediate needs for survival, nutrition, living condition, health care, and the employment. They are based on existing gender division, labor, the needs of women as mothers, and wives according to their socially constructed roles in the society. These needs are formulated women's hard experiences are immediately person neocities and are identified of women tinselled in their specific content. The roles in the household, child care, food provision, housework, augmented income for the household. The statement that practical gender needs such as access to water, childcare, and nutrition are women's needs for obscures the true woman-specific needs many women face. Access to water and proper nutrition are universal needs. According to Caroline Moser, unequal gender division of labor and the structures that support unequal gender relation are not sufficiently challenged by merely addressed practices.
The next topic is all about strategic gender needs. Are those that stem from strategic gender interests due to her socialized gender role as a woman, one who has a subordinate position in the society. These are needs that are rooted in gender inequality. First, lack of political representation. Second, the unfair generation division of labor. Third, violence against women. And lastly, the non-observance of equal pay. If a woman's gender interest is that of gender equality and the issue tackled concerns domestic violence, then the gender needs involve the creation of laws that could protect women from domestic violence. In any instances, changes in women's practical condition of life have an effect on power relations between men and women within the community. Strategic gender interests are long-term, usually not material, and are often related to structural changes in society regarding women's status and equity. They include legislation for equal rights, reproductive choice, and increased participation of decision making. The notion of strategic gender needs, first coined in 1985 by Maxine Milenius, helped develop gender planning and policy development tools such as the Moser framework, which are currently being used by the development institutions around the world. The purpose of introducing such distinctions between needs is to alert the program specialist to the importance of addressing the structural challenges to women's empowerment. It is not lack women's realities and experience into rigid and preset notions of what is a strategic need versus what responds to a practical need.
Next topic is the challenges for the fulfillment of gender needs in the Philippines. The Philippines enacts gender mainstreaming or the strategy for the inclusion of a gender perspective in all policies and programs. Gender mainstreaming is referred to a strategy for achieving gender equality and empowerment of women and girls, such as gender balance in leadership and decision making, gender equality in recruitment and career progression, measures against gender biased violence, including sexual harassment, and etc. Now let's go to the main topic, which is the challenges or obstacle for the fulfillment of gender needs in the Philippines, such as Philippines gender literature only assumes two gender, which only female and male. With this issue, the one sex is one same as one gender, which biologically male person should masculine and the female should be feminine. And with this thinking, people ignores the existence of LGBTQ person. Next is the gender needs are equated to woman-specific, practical, and strategic gender needs. Confusion arises between gender and woman. Also with this issue, it is because gender and woman are not defined in primary gender mainstreaming texts such as the Magna Carta of Women. This assumes homogeneity, also disregards LGBTQ person gender needs. Existing policies and law often assume that women are the same and experience similar factors influencing their access to resource and constitute needs. With the lack clarity in addressing women's needs based on their roles, biology, culture, and subordinates, position show how gender needs may become confused.